Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Indie Comics review. I'm your host, Lorenzo, and this time I'm going to review Knock 'em Dead by Elliot Ray Hall and Mattia Monaco. This is a book about a guy named Pryor Bryce, which is pretty cool because he's got the first name of one of the greatest comedians of all time, but he's not very good as a comedian. Pryor lives in Chicago, Illinois. And Elliot Ray Hall does a great job of getting all the stops right on the L on the north side. He's got everything down. He's familiar with the neighborhood, so it seems very authentic for all the Chicagoans who look at stuff like that. And Pryor is going to an open mic for the first time as he pick up this issue here. He's on the train. He's rehearsing, he's getting his act together, and he's preparing for his first open night at this bar. And in typical Chicago fashion, it shows him getting off at the L stop, going to the bar, and being met with the typical Chicago rude indifference that people give you there. It's like, I guess you get it in all big cities for the most part. But yeah, it's very present in Chicago where people just don't even acknowledge your presence and your existence, and they just like cut you off before you finish your question. They point and say, "Yeah, it's time to go this way. Go ahead and sign up." Yeah, whatever. So he waits his turn in line for 2 hours on open mic night. Finally, it's his turn, and he goes up. And as most comedians do on their first time, he just bombs. He just stinks up the place. And there's an instance where right after his set, another comedian comes on, who's probably much more seasoned, and just says the most offhanded, random thing, and the crowd just erupts in laughter. So it just shows you how being a comedian is just like such a hard thing. Some people may think it's easy. It's like anybody can do that. You can tell jokes. Well, with comedians, a singer can sing the same song night after night after night. I mean, not take away anything from singers, but that's very difficult as well. But it's a different kind of crowd, and doing jokes over and over, and you got to be witty enough to deal with hecklers and stuff like that. And this guy just has nothing. So he's up late, and it's like, I guess his sister waits up for him, and his sister's kind of the over-possessive type, I guess. And she gives him shit when he gets home, like, "Where have you been? Why didn't you call?" And he just says, like, "Why don't you give me a break?" And I had open mic night, and she shows a little bit more sympathy for him then. I guess we're kind of having this revealed slowly, so we're not seeing what their history is. It appears that they have recently lost both their parents, and they both come from money. They live in a nice place, and she's kind of taking care of him while he does this, I guess, finding himself kind of a thing. And part of that is doing comedy. All right, so next night he's back on the open night tour, and he's going from bar to bar, from club to club, doing his comedy thing, bombing like you wouldn't believe. And I love the way they portray the comedy routine. They don't make you suffer through the whole dialogue of just bad jokes. They just indicate what, by some cases by symbols, what his jokes are about, and the symbols of crickets and eating shit and bombs and stuff like that. So it's just great the way that the writer and the artist convey the image of bombing, which is just like dying on stage, and that's just the worst possible thing. That's just, oh my God. I mean, usually you only die once, but comedians die all the time. It's such a tough business. And this one particular night, after he's bombed in a crowd of like maybe 8 people, he meets a guy, or maybe it's a familiar guy with the club, and he goes to talking, and the guy tells him like he opens up more about his background. Says he's born in the northwestern suburbs, and made some crack about his life, and the guy said, hey, you should use that. I mean, you gotta put yourself in your comedy, because anybody can tell a joke, but nobody else can be you. And that's going to play a part in the book going forward, I can tell, because there's an incident coming up. I'm not going to give it away at all, but you can tell there's going to be some kind of supernatural element in this story, and it's going to come into play pretty soon. Because at the end of this issue, he is presented with some sort of a life-threatening occurrence, and I'm guessing that some sort of Faustian deal may be struck at some point, but we have to wait until issue number 2 for that. But overall, I love this book. Elliot Rahal is from actually Minnesota, as he says in the back of the book. And like I said, he's done some research on Chicago. Some people just write, use Chicago because it's like a big city, like New York, I'll just draw buildings and talk about Fifth Avenue and stuff like that. He's got some flesh on the bone, and Mr. Monaco also does a great job as far as illustrating the works and indicating the mood on stage and what's happening to Pryor as he's going through his baptism by fire into the comics world, to the being a comedian, as far as that goes. I'll tell you, this book it may be kind of a sleeper. It's from Aftershock Comics. I ordered the Bueller issue. He's got a limited edition. I don't know if anybody else has limited editions. This book may be overlooked. I've heard not a lot of talk about it, but this will make a great movie, and maybe I don't know, maybe a series. But this has got potential written all over it. And kudos to both of these creators for coming up with this awesome book. This is definitely something I will be looking forward to and put it on my pull list. So that is it. That is it for this Indie Comics review. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notifications button, because that way you'll know when I'm making another video. And I make 2 of them every Tuesday, and I make at least 1 or 2 more every week. So until then, folks, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in my next video. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up.